Hello everybody, welcome back once more to Lucid9. I'm TheOutbackAl.
I'm hot for justice.
I'm Yin&Jung.
And I'm Cheapy Noob.
And you're in a chicken suit.
Yep. Yes, I am.
What's up with that? We're about to learn something. What do? Do we work for Shiguri or do we want to fight for what's right?
Fight for
What's right?
Yeah, I think so.
That sounds like a better answer.
The working for Shiguri is just a perk, if we can call it that. I want to fight for what's right. I want to fight for my right. Party.
How very noble of you.
Partying is the most noble of things. What? Is that such a bad thing? Sorry, I had the hiccups.
If you're lying about it, yes.
You're creepy.
I know how boys like you work, Ishimoto. You're so afraid of being nothing that you'll just do the oddest things to stand out.
What, like making a YouTube channel?
Solving murder seems to be a very good way to start, don't you think?
What? What is even her deal?
Isn't it precious? Two useless fools bumbling around together.
You know what? You're the murderer. I just decided.
A washed-up, headstrong detective who was blinded at the first sign of murder, and an irresponsible, selfish teenager who takes nothing seriously.
Hey, that's actually very accurate. Good on you for knowing who I am. Isn't Shiguri a professional detective? At least we're trying to help.
What should we say?
I'm willing to give Shiguri the benefit of the doubt here because I think she's not the bad guy in this situation.
Yeah.
So we're trying to help.
Yeah. You're right. We're still learning, but at least we're trying to help.
It would be better for you to leave this to the professionals.
You can't exactly say that the police are doing a much better job.
Please. The police are about as professional as taco-selling clowns.
Hey, they're pretty professional.
Are you not aware of how pathetic state of their CCTV coverage? Why, one can hardly see anything that happens around this city. I'm sure Enomoto found this as an unpleasant surprise while she was investigating into the school. Really, the students' obsession with privacy is just adorable. Think how easy a killer could be caught with a few more camera installations.
Then who are these so-called professionals?
People with knowledge. Knowledge is power.
Hence why we want it.
Oh, for what purpose?
I'm gonna sell it like you. I'm gonna help others.
Help others!
Yeah, I feel like helping others is probably the better way to go. I'll use it to save lives and stop this repulsive killer.
Oh, how childish.
I'm a kid! What do you want? I'd rather be childish than a pretentious jerk.
You're cute.
Oh, bitch, I'm adorable.
Maybe I should keep you. Can I keep him, Enomoto?
Is this human trafficking?
I will not.
She waves her index finger at Shiguri.
What are chickens supposed to say, Enomoto? I think that means I can keep you.
Okay, but just so you know, I am not housebroken yet. And I see a lot of nice hardwood floor here. Her treatment of Shiguri sends a spiral of nausea straight to my gut. What a deplorable human being. I don't even have an answer for her. And Natsuki evaluates my expression for a long moment, and something in her face changes slightly.
Would you like a drink?
Nope, you're gonna roofie the shit out of me. Well, that wasn't sudden at all. What, are you gonna poison it? Ah, we had the same idea.
That's a bit of a rude assumption.
You're a bit of a rude person. Not exactly a baseless one.
I do show courtesy to my guests.
Yeah, because you've been so very courteous. She continues to examine me, a slight smirk pulling at her lips.
Good to know you aren't as weak as you appear. Would you like coffee, tea, milk?
Cyanide? Some manners would be nice.
Ooh.
Oh, now we got the jokes! She ignores this, heading out of the room. She faintly calls behind her as she leaves.
I wonder what our little chickadee should have. I do have some moldy corn I've been meaning to throw away. Maybe I can dump it in a bowl for her.
Shiguri huffs at this, but keeps her mouth shut until Natsuki has completely left the room. Then she pulls herself over to me, her voice low and urgent.
Take control of the conversation and get the information. I can't stand much more of this.
We could just beat her up. How am I supposed to do that? I don't even know enough about the case.
Natsuki has amazing connections. She has information a lot of the others don't. And so long as I pay her what she wants, we can get it from her.
What am I supposed to ask about? Shiguri opens her mouth to answer, but at Natsuki's approaching footsteps, she quickly shrinks back onto her cushion. Natsuki re-enters the room, placing a glass of iced tea before me and a glass of water before Shiguri. I surreptitiously sniff it, which she catches.
If you don't mind indirect kisses, I could sip it for you to prove it isn't poisoned.
I'll pass.
How do we know that would work? You can be immune.
That's true. She smirks, settling on the couch. Guess this is my chance to ask some questions. So how do you and Shiguri know each other? Shiguri shoots me a dark glare as if to say, what does that have to do with anything? But I ignore it.
As you may have noticed, we have this symbiotic exchange from time to time. I have information that she needs, so she pays me for it.
How can we know that this information is reliable? You could be lying to us. Natsuki raises an eyebrow, seemingly impressed.
Enomoto thought the same of our very first interaction, so I gave her a free trial period. She's yet to find me wrong. Isn't that right, Chickie?
Fuck.
Well... And there you have it.
She turns to me expectantly, as if I'm waiting for my move. I wonder what I should ask her about. The culprit, the victims, links or ties?
I think we'll get an opportunity to ask all of them.
Probably.
So.
I mean, we have a bit of information on the victims already. That might be a good place to start.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about the victims.
There are 3 to date, and a 4th on the way.
How do you know that?
A criminal never stops until his goal is met or he is caught. If neither of those occur, there will be a 4th.
Do you know his goal?
I know it is not met yet. The victims appear to have no rhyme or reason to their disappearances, but that is false. Everyone is simply looking at the wrong thing, including you.
Which means?
Well, instead of looking for a connection between the victims, it would be best to look for a connection with the killer.
Which is difficult to do if we don't know who the killer is.
I wonder.
This topic is looking like a dead end. I need to try something else. Let's go to the
Culprit!
killer. Tell me about the culprit. These are serial murders, aren't they?
Oh, certainly. What would you like to know first? Age, legal name, address, social security number, place of residence?
All the above would be nice. She's joking, right? She has to be joking.
Obviously, if such things could be so easily known, the police would be scrambling for clues as they currently are.
Joking, of course. There's no way it could be that easy. So what can you tell me about the culprit?
Well, for that, you may have to do a little thinking on your own. Consider this. The number of student disappearances has skyrocketed just recently. Why?
Because the killer just got started.
With such clean getaways?
Then the killer is working with someone.
A valid possibility, but think simpler.
The killer changed targets to the academy.
I wonder.
It would be more useful to interrogate a teapot. I decided to try a different line of inquiry. Links or ties? Is this case related to any other cases, or perhaps there's some info that we can merge?
Ah, now you're asking the right questions. You know, the 2 of you have been so exemplary that I'll even give you a little treat. What do you say?
Sure, I guess. Natsuki doesn't seem to be fazed by my lack of enthusiasm. She slowly leans forward, enunciating each syllable with painstaking precision.
The independent killings.
These mean nothing to me. But Shiguri immediately bolts upright, her eyes glimmering with excitement.
Tanaka, you must... We're not in Narnia, Enomoto. Talking animals don't exist.
Shiguri sullenly settles to the ground, but I can tell that this is a vital breaking point. What are the independent killings?
For the past 2 years, 2.5 perhaps, there have been sporadic, brutal murders all around Isamu. Innocent civilians with no relation to one another were massacred in the most terrible of deaths, left as bleeding corpses in the streets. The only connection was their time of death, which was always at night, and their autopsies, death by blood loss from uncountable lacerations.
Uncountable lacerations? My head spins. My vision from the forests this morning re-enters my thoughts. What does that even mean? Well, it means a lot of cuts. They were cut to pieces, skinned alive, sliced until the life bled out of them.
Paint!
If Natsuki implies that 3 students at the academy went through something like that... How? How could no one know about this?
The police did their utmost to conceal knowledge from the public, lest even more chaos fall onto the city.
You deserve to know when these things happen.
Oh, Ishimoto. The last thing you want to do is tell a herd of sheep that there is a wolf in their midst.
The way she says this, as if she's right and that's all there is to it, it irritates me. But I have to push it away in order to continue the conversation. So you're saying that this case is the same as the independent killings?
Did I say that?
And the killer is the same.
Did I say that?
You're annoying. Yuri leaps forward, words tumbling excitedly out of her mouth.
The killer is one and the same for the longest time. Hush, Enomoto. Remember, chickens can't speak.
Shiguri withdraws, a dark glare in her eyes. Why do you treat Shiguri like that?
You can say that even after seeing how she treats everyone around her. She pretends as if everyone around her is trash beneath her feet. I'm simply giving her a taste of her own medicine.
That's not exactly the best line of logic, but I guess if I had power over Shiguri, I wouldn't want her to forget it in a hurry. Still, this method just feels wrong, even if I have a hard time stomaching her treatment and I'm not even going through it. It would be better if I could consult her. I'm not sure what to ask.
Then how about something more interesting?
Such as? She lounges against the couch. Where are we sitting? Because I don't see chairs.
We're just standing.
Well, for one, yesterday you were in a most compromising position with Rui Hayata on the Ferris wheel.
It wasn't compromising. We were playing pretend. Bolt device plunges into my stomach. I thought she only knew general information, mystery information, crime information. How could you know about that?
It seems there's quite an interesting story behind that.
Oh yeah, we were like shooting at like meteorites or something, and there was like some invading people on our ship. You're not actually talking about that, are you?
No.
Who told you?
You presume that someone needed to tell me in order for me to know.
Did you access the security cameras?
That's certainly an interesting possibility.
Nothing she says is satisfactory. Nothing. How did you know? How did you know about that?
The same way I know that you were in District 6 3 nights ago on Enomoto's ridiculous capacity test.
Only 3 months ago.
Yeah, it's felt like much longer, hasn't it?
Uh-huh. The same way I know that you watched a most entertaining, albeit mindless, robot fight at the theme park.
Okay, so you were just watching us at the theme park. That's whatever.
The same way I know that your apartment key code is the frankly pitiful 14789.
She pauses, her eyes glittering in amusement.
Womanly intuition.
You're a robot. She's insane.
I'm making my business to know everything, Ishimoto.
I work to speak past my dry throat. No one can know everything. No one.
You're right. I just know everything that matters.
We matter! Oh my god!
Confirmation!
Yes! I raise the glass of iced tea to my lips, but my hands are shaking. Why are you telling me all this?
Because, well, I have a message for you.
I'm dead next, aren't I? She elegantly raises her feet, but her eyes have regained their cold sheen.
Back off, Ishimoto. You don't know what you're dealing with.
When have I ever? She grabs the glass from my frozen hands and heads to the kitchen.
Don't forget the animal on your way out.
Shiguri, who's seething with a mixture of rage and humiliation, promptly rips off the costume.
Tanaka, you are with whole...
Natsuki swiftly whips around, staring Shiguri dead in the eye. Then, in one fluid motion, she stuffs something into Shiguri's pocket and whisks into the kitchen. Shiguri stares at whatever Natsuki gave to her, then motions sharply to me.
Ishimoto, we're leaving. Now.
I liked it better when you couldn't talk. I didn't even get to get a say as I'm forcibly dragged out of the apartment and back to the street. We stagger into the cutting night air, out of breath and stooped over in shock. I take a moment to gather my thoughts before I can force out any words. Why did you bring me here? To be miserable? To show me I was in over my head? To give me yet another reason why I'm an incompetent subordinate?
I can't handle her alone.
I don't think we handled her together.
Actually, that was the most bearable she's been.
Either my Shiguri translator just became embedded in my subconscious, or this woman is speaking like everyone else. Not only that, but she actually gave a compliment that wasn't backhanded. Who is this imposter and what has she done with Shiguri? That I've known for like a day and a half.
Nevertheless, Ishimoto, you're fired.
Well, damn, do I at least get paid at some point? Wait, what? Did she just call me by... But, wait, she's firing me?
Yes, I'm firing you. You have fulfilled all necessary services. I no longer see reason to expend resources on the useless assistant.
You haven't paid me. I haven't taken up any of your resources. She seems almost back to normal. Almost, but it's too abrupt for me to believe that she's being genuine.
If you interfere with my work, I will have you detained. I have connections with the police. I'll prefer not to use it, but I will if I must.
Why? Oddly enough, Shiguri seems to falter at this simple inquiry.
It's for your own safety. You must trust me.
No. Trust, that's a nice word. And this has nothing to do with Natsuki's warning on how I should stay out of this.
Truly, you were my assistant for a reason.
What's that supposed to mean?
It is of little consequence. You are fired because you no longer fit the job.
I clench my jaw to hold back a pulse of anger. Which was basically being an errand boy. Pardon me if I fail to see the extensive qualifications that an errand boy needs to fulfill. Let me tell you my own theory, huh?
Ooh, here we go.
The independent killings, you know an awful lot about them, considering that they're supposed to be hidden from the general public. You were involved in those cases in some way, weren't you? And when you noticed that 2 students had disappeared from the alleged Impervious Academy, something clued you in that they had to be tied to the independent killings. Maybe it was evidence, probably just intuition, considering you had to get Natsuki to confirm it for you.
Ishimoto, you do not understand.
So you saw that students were disappearing from the academy, and 4 days ago you decided you needed to get inside and figure out for yourself what was happening. Basically, but security's tight, you couldn't hope to just snoop around unless someone willingly let you in. In the midst of my indignant wrath, the puzzle pieces began to shuffle into place, pulling together faint memories that I'd thought I'd forgotten. So you had to approach a student. You had to make a specific connection, someone who would let you investigate the school without asking any questions. You hired me because you were officially brought into the investigation after all. Before... Wait, you hired me before you were officially brought... Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Well, it's true, isn't it? You just needed to use me to access the academy. That's why you approached me on the street that day.
Go home, Ishimoto.
She says this, wearily. I can only sigh in disbelief. Then what was that test for? Why did you? You sent me to the same place that was dangerous, someplace I couldn't handle. But I did, and I solved all of her stupid little puzzles. I had proved myself fair and square. For what? Being tossed away like garbage? No, now I understand. What upsets me is not that Shigure approached me with ulterior motives. I expect ulterior motives from everyone. What upset me is that what she's doing now. Tell me how.
Ishimoto.
Tell me, Shigure, how do I prove myself? Give me some riddle, or a logic puzzle, or I don't know, a complicated piece of Sudoku. I'm supposed to help, supposed to be your assistant. Shigure slams her foot into the nearest trash can. It doesn't topple, but the reverb of leather against the tin stops me in my tracks. She leans close, eyes narrowed with intensity.
Ishimoto, I will only say this once. You may think you fully understand the circumstances which surround these crimes, but you are sorely mistaken. Do not be so quick to forget that I am nearly a decade your senior.
You don't look it.
And have seen a great many cases that are beyond your comprehension. I speak not of your intelligence, but of your mental capacity. You are yet very fragile, Ishimoto, and this case may break you.
That didn't worry you before.
Then let me ask you this. Are you ready to physically examine a body that has been masterfully taken apart by a sadist with all the time in the world?
I don't know, give me a shot. No, just the thought makes me queasy. There must be something else I can do.
Enough. I tire of this conversation. This is my decision, Ishimoto. I'll be certain to compensate you for your time spent until now. Go home safely.
We got money. So that's it then. Because I'm still young, because I'm too unstable to be able to see a mutilated body, I can't be of any use. Shigure.
Farewell, Ishimoto. Let us not meet again.
I think we will. And just like that, she turns on one heel and strides away. And we're leaving you on that. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and ring the bell icon for notifications. If you enjoyed this video, give us a like, and feel free to check out some of our other gaming videos, our weekly podcast, Anime Yay or Nay, or our parody series, Madoka Magically Abridged. See you next time!